Matt Damon's new war movie hits theaters this weekend. We want to know, should you see it, rent it, or should you skip it altogether? Kevin Carr, movie critic for FatGuysAtTheMovies.com, is joining us with the answer. You know, just as Hurt Locker wins all those awards at the Oscars, another Iraq war drama coming out called The Green Zone.
Yeah.
What's your overall feeling about it?
Well, it's directed by Paul Greengrass, who did the last two Bourne movies with Matt Damon.
Right.
It's sort of reuniting him for the same kind of movie. This one's a little more, it's not a spy, it's more about a guy who's trying to find weapons of mass destruction after the invasion of Iraq in 2003. And, you know, it's what you're going to expect from this high intensity action, and like the Hurt Locker, kind of really put you in ground zero. So for that visceral experience, it's there. Do realize, though, there's a lot of camera movement, so you don't want to sit in the front row.
Oh, boy.
You may lose your popcorn.
Some of those movies I don't like.
Yeah, it does go over the top a little bit on it, and it's a bit of a murky story. It's not as good as the Bourne movies, but, you know, for sort of like that, you know, international thriller, you know, you could do worse.
I like Matt Damon in some movies. I'm not a huge fan in others. How do you think he does?
I think he does a good job. I mean, he plays his character very well. I mean, he plays that, you know, the guy out to get the information. He's good at this role.
Okay.
I like him.
All right, so the verdict on The Green Zone, should we see it, rent it, or skip it, Kevin?
It's a see it. You know, go check it out, especially if you like his stuff.
Okay, and I love a good war movie, too, so we'll see that one. All right, next out is She's Out of My League, a comedy about an airport security screener with a dream date girlfriend.
Yeah.
She's Out of My League. How is it?
Well, you know what? They have romantic comedies and you have raunchy comedies. This one's kind of trying to be both. It's trying to be that Judd Apatow movie, but sort of still trying to be sweet. You know, he's a 5, dating a 10, and they're trying to explain why that's actually happening. Okay. That's where the comedy comes from. It has some funny moments. It has some cute moments, got some good lines, but it is a little bit rough. It's not quite completely. They could have left it in the oven a little bit longer and bake a little bit longer. So, I mean, it has its moments, but yeah.
No real big names I'm seeing in this movie either. She's Out of My League. So.
No, there's some people you might recognize from different things, but not a huge, you know, it's not an A-list star carrying this film.
All right,
and
so
that's part of the problem.
See it, rent it, skip it.
It's a rent it.
All right, rent it for that one. All right, the last one, Remember Me, starring the vampire heartthrob Robert Pattinson, so I'm sure lots of teenage girls will want to go see this movie.
Yeah, well, you know, here's the thing. Once he becomes a heartthrob and he becomes this international star, he wants to be taken seriously as an actor. So he executive produces and acts in this movie, and it's this overly weepy, violently melodramatic movie, and it is just... There's no other way to describe this besides just worst movie of the year. I mean,
worst movie of the year, you say?
It sets the bar low. It's like just when you think it's getting bad and you can't get any worse, it does. And I hated the characters even more. I would rather have a blood transfusion with battery acid than to see this again.
Would you? Okay, listen. Remember Me, then I'm going to guess you'll say skip that one?
That's a skip it.
All right. Worst movie of the year, huh?
Yeah, it's the one to beat.
Okay, thanks a lot. Kevin Carr from FatGuysAtTheMovies.com. We'll remember that review of Remember Me. We'll be right back after this.